Some leftists offer forgiveness to Trump supporters. U.S. citizens granted rights when it's convenient. And Biden's border is abysmal. This is the new Cancel This show. I'm Yo Grabba Gabba. This is Cancel This for the week of April 8th, 2021. Be sure to subscribe so you get all the updates, so you don't miss anything. You can email the show directly, pavementproductions@gmail.com. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/pavementroadproductions, and you can share the post, tell your friends, and get the word out. So, this week I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, I listened to an interview recently with Candace Owens on her new show on the Daily Wire. And she talked about how, and it's something I've been seeing a lot of lately popping up. She talked about how her leftist friends or her family members have been reaching out to her now that Trump's gone and extending an olive branch. It's quite interesting what happens when somebody feels like they've won. They extend the olive branch. They say, "Oh, we can be friends and we can be cool now. We're good." Yeah. Well, how come when I have what I want and the way things are going the way I want them, you want nothing to do with me? So next time, perhaps when things aren't going your way, when you don't have the person in power that you want in power, next time you lose an election, you're going to cut me out of your life again? Is that how it works? Yes. So leftists are offering forgiveness. We forgive you, Trump supporters, for being Trump supporters. You were so wrong and so misguided. We forgive you. Yeah? Take that forgiveness and shove it. I don't want your forgiveness. Go ahead and try to cancel me. Go ahead. I want to apologize for how I see the world. I want to apologize for my beliefs. Meanwhile, the great unifier, Joe Biden, if he really wanted to unify the country, he doesn't, of course. He doesn't. He wants to be a transitional president. He wants to take the country from what it was to what he wants it to be. Or what his handlers want it to be, or whoever is running his administration wants it to be. He's a moderate face on a radical agenda. He's like your old stupid grandpa. You know? He's too dumb. He can't walk upstairs, but he can change how the country is done and run forever. He can change the country forever. And I saw talking about how refreshing it is now we have Biden as president. So I posted, there's been no tweets, no name calling, no golfing. Well, Biden can't walk up a set of stairs. He can swing a golf club. It said no name calling. Oh, really? Because I'm pretty sure he called half the country a bunch of Neanderthals. No tweets. He doesn't know how to use a computer. Of course, he's not tweeting. But yes, the left has won. They got their way, so now they can forgive us for disagreeing with them. Unity. Joe Biden is unity. He's got so much unity. It's funny because to unify people, you have to humble yourself. But Joe Biden doesn't care to do that. He wants his base to have what they want. He wants his base to be in control forever. He wants to change voting law. He said the Georgia voting law is like Jim Crow on steroids. It's Jim Eagle. It's so bad. Making people show ID and not have partisan organizations hand out drinks and food to people waiting to vote. You know, like every state in the world does. Every state in the country does. But because they were able to steal Georgia, allegedly, now they're gonna... And now Georgia wants to change the law so they can't have that kind of stuff ever again. Now it's wrong. When you make it more difficult to steal elections, you're a bad person. Obviously. Duh. Silly. Meanwhile, the great unifier Joe Biden is telling everybody, you gotta just get in line. You gotta just, follow me. Oh, so you have to think the way I do. Unity, baby. That's unity. Telling everybody else that they have to think the way you do is certainly unity. If Joe Biden wanted to be a great president, of course he won't be. To people who see the world see the world the way he does, and that's an ever-growing number with the indoctrination of our kids in schools, teaching kids to hate themselves and each other, and all the world's problems are from white people, of course, obviously, and white supremacy is the great root of all evil. Which it is, but all the problems in the world don't stem from white supremacy. Just saying. But if you wanted to really unify the country, you want to bring people together, a great way to do it would be to tell your base to stop it. Right? To tell Antifa the quote-unquote idea that he has been funding and that Kamala Harris has been raising bail money for, if you tell them to knock it off. But he doesn't care. All he cares about is his base. He doesn't want to unify anybody. He just wants people to listen and do things when he wants them done. That would be great unity. It would be really unifying if he would just tell people that disagree with him that they're welcome to have their own opinion. Cancel culture is not agreeing with everybody. It's being willing to hear a different opinion. It's not having your virgin ears hurt by something that you disagree with. Everybody walking and talking the same language. Always. But people are going to disagree. People have disagreed on everything forever. Since the beginning of time, people disagree on things. And that's okay. That's why we have something called freedom. To be able to have those discussions. But again, Joe Biden doesn't actually want anybody to be unified. He wants to keep people divided because he can more easily control them. It's way easier to control people when they're fighting with each other instead of fighting with you. If we were all unified fighting against the people keeping us held back, keeping us down, we'd be able to fight back against them. But instead, we have to be fighting with each other. And disagree with each other and calling each other names. And that's how they keep it controlled. So Joe Biden wants unity, quote unquote, but he only wants unity with people to agree with him. That's not quite unity. Great presidents, great leaders have compromised. Have said, well, we want this, but we know that you want this. We want to be able to coexist. So we have to we have to help each other out, We can't always get what we want. We have to share, right? Sharing, that thing you're taught in first grade. Sharing your toys, right? Well, if we just share, if we all just say, well, I know you want this and I want that, maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere and compromise, come up with a deal. No, we're going to do it my way. We're going to force everything through on a partisan basis, and you're going to do it whether you want to do it or you're not going to be able to do it. So much unity. So much unity. But yes, since Trump is gone, we can now bring those people who were so misguided that they voted for Trump back into the country now. They can rejoin civilization, society, because Trump's gone. Because you thought differently than us, you were excommunicated. You're not allowed to have an opinion. You're not allowed to be part of the country. You're not allowed to be part of anything that we're doing here in this country because you disagree with us. But now that your guy is gone, now you can just agree with us again. It's super easy. Unity, baby. Just agree with everything you say. Never disagree. Never have a different opinion. Unity. Agree that everything that bad that's ever happened in the world is because of white people, white supremacy. You know, like every shooting that ever happens, always a white guy. It's always a white guy. Somebody tweeted that. It's always the white guy who does it. It's always an angry white guy. Except it's not, and recently it definitely hasn't been. What else? Also, I heard this. This actually was said by somebody. Again, I don't want to give credit to the idiots. I don't remember who said it anyways because they're not relevant. But they said, even when a minority commits a crime, like those two black girls who killed that Arab guy, they got a slap on the wrist. They got nothing. But even when a minority kills somebody, even when a black guy kills Asians, which more Asians have been killed by. Asians are the only race that kills each other the least. Like more white people kill white people, more black people kill black people, more Hispanics kill Hispanics, or Latinx. I guess we have to call them now Latinx. But Asians don't kill each other as much as other races kill each other. More blacks have killed Asians than any other race. More Asians have been killed by blacks than any other race. But even that is an offshoot of white supremacy because, you know, white supremacy people are mad about white people doing things, so they of course have to kill people and commit crimes because of white people holding them back. Do you know who's holding black people back, by the way? They are white liberals. Those ones holding people back. Those ones are saying you can't make it without me helping you. You're gonna make it on your own? No. You need my hand. You need my hand out. And you need my hand out forever. So you actually can't ever be as good as me because you need my hand out. So I'll help you get to where you want to be, but as soon as you get there, I'm gonna tell you you can't go any further because you can't get there without my help. Those racist white liberals. Progressive. Going back to segregation. Columbia is proposed racial graduations. So there's going to be a black graduation, an Asian graduation, Hispanic graduation, and a white graduation. You know, it's funny. All we needed, you know, all this stuff with desegregation and Brown v. Board and Plessy v. Ferguson, all that could have just gone away. We just said, hey, why don't we let you guys segregate? Instead of having to have all these court cases for segregation and fighting segregation and making equal, you know, separate but equal is not equal. Well, if we do it and said, hey, black people, hey, Hispanics, why don't you just have your own country? Start your own country. Go ahead. That was all the problems, right? Because now they're going back to that. Now we had it equal, so now they have to have different. Now they have to have separate again. Instead of everybody just being people and living their lives. How outrageous. MLK would have been trashed in today's day and age. Trashed. Because he wanted people to judge based on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And right now, the only thing that matters is the color of your skin. Only thing that matters. So, 2 shootings, 2 attacks. I guess I can't say shootings. 2 attacks. The Capitol was attacked. And of course, it was a white guy with an AR-15 who shot the place up. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It was a black Louis Farrakhan supporter, Nation of Islam supporter, with a knife. But it's still gun control. You still need to take away guns, obviously. Duh. But a black Louis Farrakhan supporter. You know, Louis Farrakhan who said that he wanted to kill Malcolm X because Malcolm X was a traitor to his race. Yeah. That guy. Because how dare you? How dare you fight for civil rights? We don't want to be equal. We want to be separate. So a black Louis Farrakhan supporter, Nation of Islam supporter, attacked the Capitol building, killed the police officer, injured another, and then was killed. And then just today, recording this on the 8th of April, a man shot up shot 5 people in South Carolina and then killed himself. The man was a black former NFL player. He was a journeyman, didn't play a lot. He was a backup. He played on 6 different teams in 6 years. But yeah, he shot a bunch of people and killed himself. Also not white. But you'll notice, when a black person kills somebody, it's a gun's fault. When a white person kills somebody, it's all white people's fault. It's white supremacy. It's racism. That's the narrative, folks. The facts don't matter as long as the facts contradict the narrative. It's always the white guy who did it. Except when it's not, then it's a gun. Joe Biden's passing legislation to try to cut down on gun and people having guns. He says the Constitution isn't all encompassing. It doesn't really matter what the Constitution says because common sense can override the Constitution. Oh really? Who's common sense, Joe? Can you spell the word? Common or sense? He doesn't know what planet he's on. Common sense. Please. Let's talk about rights, because it does kind of go along with the second topic I'm talking about in rights, right? Rights are given to us by the government. Joe Biden says, if you're good little boys and girls, on July 4th, you can get together with your family and have a cookout outside. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, may I have some more? Are you kidding me? We have to ask permission to eat outside on our own property with our family. On Independence Day. The day we celebrate our independence, our freedom. We have to ask permission, we have to behave so we can get permission to have dinner in our own backyard on Independence Day. Even if they're all vaccinated. Everybody's vaccinated. Sir, may we please have freedom? Get the hell out of here. Stuff should have opened up like a year ago. This thing is a seasonal thing. There's going to be a vaccine for every year if you want it. If you become a high risk, then get it. But I've been working in the community since this thing started. Since COVID started. Since before COVID started. And every time I have to get vaccinated, vaccines are there to protect you, make you safe. But if the vaccine is 97% effective or 92% effective from a virus that has a 99.9% survival rate, well, that's basically putting lipstick on a pig. Like, Dr. Fauci's over here double masking after he's been vaccinated. Why do you need a double mask? Rand Paul called out and said it's just theater. Well, Dr. Fauci's response was, well, because there could be variances out there somewhere. Yeah, you could also get hit by a freaking meteor. So don't leave your house. Because you can get hit by a meteor walking out of your house. Life involves risk. You can't take away all risk from life. But these cowards would rather be alive and not living than take a chance to have something possibly go wrong. So, the Second Amendment doesn't really mean anything because, if people are going to shoot each other with guns, you're going to take away guns. Meanwhile, I think I may have told the story before, but in London, this was like 2 years ago now, I think. It was a while ago. It was like 2 summers ago now. The mayor of London had a mandatory buyback of guns. Took away everybody's guns. We're buying back all the guns. Mandatory buybacks. And so everybody who was a law-abiding citizen sold all their guns back to the government. London took all their guns and got rid of them. And then knife attacks went up like crazy, like through the roof. Like there was like a 300-400% increase in knife attacks. Right? Ridiculous. So he had another great idea. He decided, let's buy back all the knives. Right, knives. Anything that's not a kitchen knife, we're gonna buy back. We're gonna have mandatory buyback of kitchen knives. So the mandatory buyback of kitchen knives in London, or I'm sorry, of non-kitchen knives. So pocket knives, hunting knives, all those things. Because people are being attacked with knives now. So you have the buyback of all these knives. Smart. Except armed criminals attacked the depot that was holding all these knives that they just collected and stole all the knives. They used guns to rob the place to steal all the knives from the government that just collected all the knives from the law-abiding citizens. Smart. Genius. Real freaking genius. Such a smart man. Such just pure genius. I'm surprised he isn't in like Congress yet. It sounds like somebody in Congress would do. Such a moron. So smart. Sadiq Khan, yeah, that was his name. Sadiq Khan. Idiot. Freaking idiot. But freedom. But rights. People get rights. We have rights as long as it's convenient. As long as we can, like example, my body, my choice. Not to get vaccinated or to wear a mask, of course, but to murder your unborn child. Obviously. Duh. It's my right to kill my baby, my child, or as Ralph Northam would do in Virginia, after they're born, kill them if we don't want them. They have blue eyes, I wanted green. Kill it. My body, my choice. But if you don't wear a mask, you can't do anything. You can't do it. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Freedom. You get your freedom as long as we aren't put out or inconvenienced by giving you your freedom. If you have to agree with everything we say. I mean, look at Coca-Cola. Look at woke Delta Airlines. They want to pull their headquarters out of Georgia, out of Atlanta, because of the voting law that Joe Biden lied about. Put it this way. How did Joe Biden lie about that? The Washington Compost. Okay, the flaming compost pile that is Washington Post. They helped get Joe Biden elected, gave him 4 Pinocchios. Talking about the Georgia voting law. 4 Pinocchios. He lied massively. If you're a Democrat getting called out by the Washington Post for lying, you lied big time. We'll talk more about that stuff probably in the future. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to talk about with all these woke corporations. People wonder why there's conspiracy theories out there. Well, when all these corporations are doing the exact same thing, speaking the exact same language, and acting the exact same way, what do you think's going to happen? It makes somebody wonder if they're all in on this together. But yes, it's your freedom to do whatever you want as long as it doesn't inconvenience anybody else, especially those in the ruling class. You can definitely do whatever you want. You can travel, you can see your family as long as you do exactly what we say and limit it to what we say you can do it, to our limitations. Freedom, baby. Freedom. And finally, Joe Biden's border. So the border is a disaster. And Joe Biden says we have to be more humane. Because Trump wasn't humane with the people. Oh, really? He built the wall and told them they couldn't come. And they didn't come. They started to. They tried to test him. And 2019 had the lowest rate we've ever had of people coming to the border. Ever. In like 100 years. Okay? Because you tell them they can't come, they'll have to stay in Mexico while we decide whether they can come in. And we build a wall so they can't sneak in as easily. And they stop coming. Shut the faucet. But instead, Joe Biden says, we're not going to send kids back. We're going to be humane. Oh, really? Because we just had 2 kids, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, dropped over the border wall. They were dropped over the wall into the country. That's humane. That's good. Joe Biden in his federal facilities for kids. The kids in cages that he has now. It was bad when Trump did it. It was great when Obama did it. Now it's great again. It's crazy how it works. Well, there's been so many accusations of child molestation and rape that, and Texas is in the CPS in Texas was called to investigate, and Biden wouldn't let him in. Biden's administration wouldn't let him in. So now they're being sued so that they can investigate these rape allegations. It's great. Just great. It's a complete and total disaster. But again, when your only job is to reverse everything the previous person did, even the good things, they have to admit that Trump did something good, right? The border was a good thing. There's several things that Trump did that was good, but for Biden to admit that would kill him. It would kill him to admit that Trump did something good. So he has to reverse everything Trump did, even things that were working, even things that were good, and create the disaster that he had. He said, well, we inherited the problem. No, you didn't. All you do is finish the wall and keep the policies in place they already had, and you wouldn't have the problem. But instead, you're inviting people to come in. They're coming in wearing Joe Biden shirts and hats. They're arresting people on terrorist watch lists, trying to sneak in. All you do is come with a kid, and you're good. Come with a kid. Bring a kid. BYOK. You can come in and stay in the country, get signed up to vote, sign up for food stamps, sign up for free housing. Just come on in. The water's fine. I heard an interview recently with a former, I guess, national security person now, CIA or FBI or ICE, I don't even know. He said that there was a story he heard or he saw. He told a story about he was on patrol and there was a village that had bowling, and there were people bowling in this village, and they went to the bowling alley and they were having a good time. A bunch of families there, and some people showed up that were kind of sketchy looking people, and they showed up and they actually walked up to the front of all the alleys and stopped people from bowling, and then they opened up their bowling bags, and they had heads of people, and they started rolling down the aisle, severed heads, and it was neighbors of the people who were bowling there. It was their neighbors, people in their town, and the message was, these people don't have to be you. Just give us what we want. So of course they gave them kids, they gave them money, paid them and let them take their kids across the border so they could sneak in the country, and the millions of dollars a day the cartel's making by smuggling kids across the border because Biden said, bring a kid, they can come. Joe, it's really easy, way easier to be president from your couch. Before you become president, it's way easier to say, I would just do this differently. Yeah? Well, now you actually have to do it. A lot of people are dying. You put Kamala Harris in charge of this. She's been laughing off as if it's a joke. She hasn't been on the border once. She doesn't plan on going on the border. But she's in charge of the border now? It's a disaster. And you created it, Joe. It's your fault. Period. You didn't inherit the problem. You created the problem. And you created it on purpose because you wanted more voters. You wanted to appease your base. And instead of telling people, no, this is wrong, we can't just let anybody come in with a kid because they didn't have to be their kid. That journey is not good. And he says, they're coming across this treacherous journey because their home was so bad. We have to fix their hometown. Okay, fix their hometown. But we can't take everybody else in the country. Our country cannot have every single person in the country. Everybody in the world can't live in America. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. And guess what? We want to help out other places? Great. Help out other places. But you can't bring everybody in the country. America's full. So Joe Biden is unity. It's all garbage. It's all just listen to me, do exactly what I say, or else. And now they're elitist liberals are saying, we forgive you, Trump supporters. We forgive you now because let's be friends again now that Trump's gone. Oh, really? That's how it works? We give you what you want, and now we can have your friendship, shove your friendship. Joe Biden's America. Open borders. Zero. He said he was going to be the president who was very transparent. He said zero transparency. Ted Cruz, Senator Cruz, went down the border, his own state, where he's the senator of, and he wanted to take videos of what was going on in those facilities, and he was told he couldn't because give these people dignity, give them dignity. You don't have to ask them for their names. You don't have to ask them their story. I mean, I'm sure they would like to tell their stories. But you don't have to ask them their stories. You're taking pictures. You're taking a picture of what's going on there. And Biden and his cronies don't want people seeing that because it's too bad of conditions. But unity and transparency and humanity, right? But people don't know. People don't care. He's a good old boy from Scranton. Meanwhile, his kid's writing a book about how he hooked up with his brother's widow and then impregnated a stripper and denied that he even knew her. Great family. But, you got the media in your back pocket. What else do you need? So, I'm good. You want, to kind of wrap up here with what we started with. I'm good. You want to have unity. You want to be, let's all work together. Let's all do what we need to do. Let's all, we can forgive those Trump supporters who were just misguided and they followed somebody who wasn't very good, and now we can work together. Oh yeah? Well, if you can only see it your way, if you can only see the world the way you see it, you can't have unity. The biggest difference to me between liberals and conservatives think that people are flawed. The right thinks people are flawed. The right thinks people like Trump had good ideas but wasn't a perfect person. The left thinks Republicans are flawed. The left thinks conservatives are flawed. The big difference between conservatives and liberals: conservatives think people are flawed. Liberals think conservatives are flawed. Liberals can't see their own faults, where conservatives can. Conservatives have always been the group of people who just sit back and let people live their lives and do what they need to do. And look where it's gotten them. That time has passed. There's no more time for that. You can't sit back anymore if you're conservative. You can't sit back and just say, it's okay. You live, you do you, I'll do me. Because we've already lost. We've already lost our freedoms. Society isn't changing. It's just only one side is loud and the other side is quiet. I'm good with everybody speaking their mind and saying what they think. That's fine. That's great. In fact, I want that. I want people to speak their mind. I want people who disagree with me to say what they want to say and make their arguments. They usually don't. They usually can't. But go ahead, make your argument. Tell me why you're right. But also listen to me and hear my side of it as well. Because guess what? Neither side is perfectly right. Both sides have problems. But until you're humble enough to hear the other side and listen and think, you'll never be able to get past your own ego. Be sure to subscribe so you get all the updates. A lot more to come. We could be doing these every single day if we wanted to. But be sure to subscribe so you get all the updates so you don't miss anything. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PayMoreProductions. You can email the show PayMoreProductions@gmail.com. And as I said, subscribe and share this and tell your friends. We have to get the word out because the media's not going to do their job. The media's not going to tell anybody anything. The media's just going to cover and say how great Joe Biden is. He's the greatest thing ever. He's destroying the country every single day, but he's just the greatest thing ever. We've got to get the word out. We've got to educate people and inform them before it's too late. We already know that liberals are the most uninformed people of all time. We've got to let people know things. So the only source of information they get is from CNN and MSNBC. I was told in high school to discredit Fox. And yes, they're biased, but who isn't? Everybody is. We've got to get the word out. We've got to spread the word. We've got to get people to understand what's going on and give them a source of information that they can actually listen to and take with them. So share the post, tell your friends, and we'll be back next time. Plenty more to talk about, a lot more ahead. Definitely share the post and tell your friends, and we'll check back with you next time. A lot more to come. Like I said, we talk about Biden every single day. He does another blunder every single day. But as I said, subscribe and share your posts, and we'll get more out to you as soon as we can. Try to get these out once a week, if not more often than that. And thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing the post. And until next time, I got nothing else to say. Biden!